Welcome to A Brief History Conspiracy.
This episode, RFID chips.
We've been putting RFID chips in our pets for years, but now it seems that some people think it's a good idea to start putting them in people too. So what are some of the benefits? What are some of the risks? And let's be honest, it won't stop here, so what comes next?
If you are new to our channel though, please like and subscribe, hit that bell notification so you see all our new videos pop up. It really does help us out. One thing we can do is, there will be a database where they will basically track you constantly. And it won't just be through a door. Once 5G is everywhere, they're already talking about the next generation of this technology called smart dust, right? Which isn't really dust. At the moment, the technology is about the size of a matchbox, but they're very, very cheap to make. Hewlett Packard on about that they want to make 20 million of these things for one city in America, right? And all it is a little tracking device. And what they'll make money off these things because they only cost pence to make. So, and they'll be everywhere. They'll track us, and then they'll use that information. Now, saying what they want to get to is a point where there's real world tracking constantly everywhere. And they've said, oh, there's lots of lovely reasons for this. So they'll really be able to help with traffic and making all like the traffic lights smart, and because they'll be able to track everything that's going on all the time. Weather, when it starts to rain in one place, they can divert things. But it'll be real world tracking all the time, right? And that includes real world tracking of people. So if we start crowding in one area, they'll do clever things to get us to walk different places, make the city move much easier, right? If you think about smart dust in combination with 5G, which will give them the signal and the bandwidth ability, and RFID chips implanted in us. And never mind then facial recognition technology, which is already coming to a point. It's already in action.
China are already doing that with robots on the street, facial recognition that are taking people's temperatures on the streets.
I mean, what a lot of companies want to do is they want to use all that to then focus advertising at you. So you'll walk past a billboard and you will see an advert for something you want. They won't just put a generic advert up. It'll be a big telly and it'll change constantly. One of the things with Google Glasses they wanted to do was the image is actually projected on the inside of the glasses. So you just see, like those QR code things, they'll be up on a wall, but your glasses sees that and projects some advert for something that it knows you're interested in, right? And so you see the advert, but really everyone sees something different. Okay. With this technology, that takes that to a whole different level, and they can do that constantly. And then, so that's not too bad in a way, but it won't stop there. It'll then start trying to talk you into buying things that it thinks you might want, or trying to actually maneuver you in different ways. And we're psychologically stupid enough to fall for it, and we'll become programmed.
Well, it also leads you to the point that I'm thinking of as well, is that we're not really governed by our governments, where our prime minister earns a couple $100,000 a year, or the American president earns $400,000 a year, but he's trying to keep the billionaire CEOs of multinational corporations in check. They're just open to bribery. It costs in America specifically. It costs them, millions of pounds to get into the presidency, to earn
hundreds of millions,
to earn $400,000 a year. Well, and who funds all the campaign trails? The corporations. So who are they really serving? The corporations.
Money,
And who wants the RFID chips? The corporations. So we're ruled by a college of corporations in today's world, rather than governments. And I think that's what's driving it.
But we've discussed how that this technology would become normal, and that's what they've been moving towards. And I think media and everything else has been pushing us towards this for years and years and years. Right. So say in 10 years time we're all RFID chips. There's another wave of COVID that convinces enough of us to go, I'd really like an RFID chip, please. 10 years time, enough of the population is RFID chips, and it starts to become normal, right? We become the Borg. We become cybernetic organisms, literally.
Right.
What's next? What comes after that? Because they ain't stopping with just a tracking device.
Skynet.
So
AI.
Skynet's just an AI.
I'm quite scared of AI and Skynet. So I was just going off on a bit of a tangent because I was thinking about the high speed or the high bandwidth interface that Elon Musk is trying to create between the human brain and the computer system. Because the real problem at the moment with becoming a cyborg is that you can't create a fast enough data signal between the human brain and between a computer system to make it you link to a digital world. As soon as he figures that out, then yes, becoming cyborgs is a true possibility.
Well, I would say just wait on that. Even within the last 10 years, bandwidth capability has gone from, would you like 1 meg to 100 meg to, I was Virgin was trying to sell me 300 meg streaming. So they can't get the 100 meg to work properly. It keeps dropping out, but they want to have 300 meg, and that's just within a couple of years. So the bandwidth, was it double every 2 years or something? Or possibly 5G is going to make it go up by about 10 times, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, but your brain has more neurons than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Just wait. That's what I'm saying. We're not there yet, but just wait.
Yeah, eventually it will. But is becoming a cyborg a good thing? I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't think we know enough about planets, the universe, about life on other planets yet to decide whether going down this AI route is a good idea or not.
Why is planets? Why is known about other planets things?
Well, just knowing more about the universe within which we exist and DNA and has life come up on other planets, and maybe the stuff we're creating, the technology, is like Satan, the devil, and we should embrace the living world within which we already exist.
So you're saying we need to know more before we go down something that then can't be reversed? So we don't know enough to go down this road.
I think it's a very scary road to travel down when you know so little at the moment.
The problem is, I think history again shows us though that humanity will do what it can do. We're only limited by our stupidity, by what technology limits us to. We could build a nuclear weapon. Anybody with any sense should know that a nuclear weapon is a bad thing to build, but we could, so we did. And then we used it and we realized, oh God, that's horrible. We can't uninvent that. And so then everyone's got one. You know what I mean? And I think this would be similar.
There are several thousand of them since.
Yeah, exactly. So
about 2000, I think, on the Earth.
We'd love to uninvent it, though. That's my point. We can't. And this will be similar. It's once you left that out of the box, you're never putting it back, sort of thing. No. We're limited by what we can do, not what we should do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Famous quote from Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb. I have become the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And this technology, I would say, is scarier, or the next gen of this, because that's my point, really.
On a parallel, probably.
They won't stop at an RFID chip. They'll move on to the next thing, and then But the scary thing is, having something like this technology in your hand will then become normal. So then when they say the next gen one goes into the back of your head, and you'll just have to think about what TV channel you want, and it'll just pop up. Or you don't need a TV anymore. We can make you see it through this chip in the back of your head because it's connected to your ocular,
I'm alright pressing one button to change the channel. That's fine with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people won't go for that. I was fine getting up and going to my TV and changing the channel. But when they put a remote control in my hand, I ain't getting up at that settee unless I need a wee. If my remote control doesn't work, it drives me up the wall. Because all I have to do is walk 3 feet and press a button and go back again. But it does your head in. So I think if the technology, though, gets to a point where they could connect something to your head so you can literally become physically connected to the internet, I could see people going for that. I could see that if they say you don't need to go to school, we can matrix you and stream information directly into your brain. And that technology, Elon Musk is already talking about it. He's already talking about like fiber optic connections, fiber optics that become so fine they're like neurons, and physically connecting you to a device. The scary thing is, though, who controls your thoughts if you're physically connected to the internet? Is it you or the internet? And we're getting into David Icke territory here, because he genuinely believes this is what's going to happen in the next 30 years, that we're going to be connected to AI and we're going to become mindless zombies to the New World Order's dream. And this is what they're aiming for. So after everything we've discussed, RFID chips.
Not a chance.
Yeah, no, you're not even gonna.
Wouldn't entertain them. No, not interested.
You're not having it.
No. And I think there'll be a lot of stubborn people like me that won't willingly give away their freedoms for an idea of some kind of security because they're not morons.
Yeah, moron. I'd quite like one.
Sorry, I knew that was going to tee you up.
Yeah. Ding 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 ding. I have the problem in that everything, and particularly in technology, there's always a balance. There's always a you know, you have to think the advantages outweigh the negatives, right? And I think my life would be much, much easier if I had an RFID chip in my hand. I like the idea.
But
the problem is
outweigh the potential negatives.
No. The potential negatives are really bad.
Not the you need to consider the potential negatives.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
But I actually think the problem is, and I'm not being pragmatic. I'm actually being a bit defeatist. I genuinely think we're already there. I genuinely think that, you know, you're about being a cashless society and that's scary. I think we already are a cashless society. I think the paper we put in our pocket really is just, its worth is imagined, and really it's irrelevant.
Stopped printing and issuing banknotes yet?
No, but they may as well.
We're not cashless yet, then, are we? There's still
but
a small
they may as well.
Transactions that are done with cash, and I want it to remain that way.
Yes, but my point is, if they removed all the cash tomorrow, if they shredded it tomorrow, the infrastructure's already there, and it would make no difference.
Yes.
The point is, we're already virtually a cashless society because we cannot. One, money's only worth what the government tells us it's worth. When there isn't enough money in the thing, they did this stimulus thing where they just print £100 billion and just put it into the economy. That money doesn't come from anywhere. They just create it and put it into the economy. Money is
imaginary.
The paper, it's imaginary.
Yes, it's a system that we've created.
There's no gold standards. There's no thing.
Yeah.
So I think in lots of ways we're already a cashless society. The cash in your pocket is just a way for them to make you feel a bit better about it. And in lots of ways, it's irrelevant. So if we go to an RFID chip and they shred all the cash, in lots of ways, I think
in cash aren't traced. And
that is the only difference. But even then, they can trace it because when it goes back into a bank account, there's all serial numbered. So if you go,
I don't think it's sophisticated enough to trace on that level with the serial number on the.
They might not know every chain of person, but they'll know you took it out, and they'll know the person that put it back.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be.
They won't know the chain in between.
Middle. Yeah, which is what we need to fight to protect.
Yes, but I don't see the point. I think we've already lost the battle. But maybe that's defeatist.
Because then you lose any black markets of anything, because nobody can pay for any cash transactions with anything. That means your government then has a monopoly, and the corporations have monopoly, on what products they can sell you and at what price, particularly if they have a monopoly in a particular market, because you can't even then have a black market existing to then subvert that, overpriced goods from a corporation that has a monopoly on a particular market. You're opening yourself up to get screwed by corporations even further.
Oh, I think we're already getting screwed. I think they're already balls deep into a screwing us, mate. That's
they are, and I don't want to give them more rope to screw us harder with. Do you know what I mean? Or...
My argument is, we've gone 99% the way there. What difference does that next 1% make? And that's the thing. But my argument is, one, it's already too late. But two, you either put up with that fact or you fight against a system that's already in place. That's my point.
You enlighten people as to the true potential cons or disadvantages of it, and then wake them up and they go, no, we don't really want this.
The sad truth, particularly after doing this channel, as I've come to, is that 90% of people
will probably openly accept it or don't care, and ignorance is they're too wrapped up in their own lives, and yeah. Well,
and they will go, yes, I'll have that RFID chip, thank you very much.
Thank God for the 10%.
Yeah. You know, the thing, I keep going back to this point though, in my head, is that honestly, if they said we can put the chip in you and I can leave my keys, phone, or my keys, ID, wallet at home, I'd be really tempted.
I wouldn't.
I would be.
Right.
Because I'm lazy.
You can already. Well, you can't be bothered to pick up a car fob. You can already get a fingerprint in or out, or a digital number pad in and out of your house if you wanted. You don't need to carry any keys with you. You can have a car that you put the key in the car, and then you've got to carry one little fob in your pocket. You already carry a phone. You won't stop carrying your phone. So all you're really lightening up on is a couple of keys and your wallet with your credit cards in. You can already put all your credit cards on your phone, so you can already get rid of your wallet and get rid of cash and your keys. So all you need to carry, Jamie, is your phone and your car fob.
Yeah.
And that's too much hassle.
If I've got an RFID chip in my hand, nobody else can use my phone, right? That's the thing as well. I don't need a password. I don't need my fingerprint. It'll be thingy to me. The police, they're all going to be RFID chipped. Well, exactly, but it'll be perfect with the RFID. Police will have this in a few years. I'm guaranteeing you, particularly in America, because the handgun will be programmed to the person with the RFID chip. So when an officer cannot have his gun taken off him and used against him, or stolen or whatever, because it'll be, and all gun owners, they'll say, yeah, have a gun, but you'll have to be RFID chipped and have it programmed to you so your son can't accidentally shoot himself. It'll be, that's how it'll be done. And it's hard to argue with that. I find, I don't think people should own guns. I just don't. But I would feel safer about it if they were all RFID chipped and only that person that had the license for the weapon was able to physically use it. I like the idea that only I can pick up. That somebody steals my phone, it's useless because it's programmed to me.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'm fed up with having to give up our freedoms because some moron did something, so that then we can't do it without being heavily legislated because they accidentally, do you know what I mean, left the gun lying around and their daughter shot their little son. Why should I have my freedoms restricted because he couldn't look after his weapon properly? That's not my problem.
I completely agree with you on that point, except for guns. But I don't think people should have guns in their home. I think it's insane. But
we don't have them in this country on a on the scale like America does. So,
but we have speed limits in this country basically because of the moron. Our entire society is aimed towards our slowest-witted people.
Yes,
and that is maddening. And I completely agree with you on that. In lots of ways, it shouldn't, but that is the only way society can work. You have to almost aim your laws at the dumbest.
You do, unfortunately, and we already give away a lot of freedoms because of that. So I'd rather not willing to give away other freedoms.
Yeah, and if I'm 100% honest, I've been trying to play devil's advocate and try to, like the one side or the other because I knew your point on this. If I was honest, I wouldn't have an RFID chip in my hand. No freaking chance. Because of everything you said, I completely agree with you. And it's the point is once we start doing that, what's next scares the crap out of me. What would come? I don't on its own doesn't necessarily scare me, but it's what comes after it that really, really scares me.
Unfortunately, there's not enough positives for me that aren't just laziness, hiding behind another guise.
I love the laziness
for the negatives that potentially exist, and that's where I just say the negatives could far outweigh the slight convenience things around the positive side of things, and that's really all you're getting. You're getting more convenient way of doing day-to-day things. That's all.
Yeah. So for one final question, and then we're wrapping it up.
Yep. Sorry.
Even after everything we've said, do you honestly think in the next 10 years a large percentage of the population will be chipped?
Hopefully not, but possibly.
I would actually say probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to lean on the side that I'd rather it didn't happen, but I do suspect it probably will, because I'm sure there'll be lots of adverts to manipulate a lot of the population into getting them.
Oh, I think this is coming. I think the technology's there. I think it's happening. I think we've been guided this way for a very long time, and I think it's happening.
COVID gives them a great excuse to push its agenda further. Yes.
And COVID's a brilliant excuse, but to be honest, mate, even without it, we would have gone that way anyway. COVID just gives that extra little push.
I suspect it's mainly the powers that be making good use of a crisis, basically.
Yeah.
to try and move this plan along that they've had for many decades before.
Very, very long time. Yeah. All right, Emily. Well, yeah, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
I just forgot we hadn't really done an outro then. I thought we'd stop, that was all.
Well, there's our outro. So thanks very much. I've never called it an outro before.